All right, good afternoon. Welcome to the New York session. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to another trading session. All right, I was just adjusting, making sure my microphones are all working. Everything is perfectly fine over here. All right, so let's start with the dollar index as usual. So as we can see, we do have the dollar index yesterday based on the narrative that I gave. Dollar index is likely gonna go up. This low here to me is the low of the week, and I'm expecting price to continue expanding higher. With that said, we are looking for a run to 99.14 and then ultimately the 99.58 and then eventually 100.25. Okay, so 100.25 is the main target, but these are intermediary targets that we're expecting price to reach for. Okay, so we've not actually changed our bias. We are still expecting higher prices, and with that will give us the euro and the British pound to also continue going lower. Now I want you to know something about price action, especially with what is currently happening. Price has been kind of condensed for the last 2-3 months. When I say condensed, it means it's been in a tight range. We've not really had any expansion for the last 3 months. Okay, so most of the time that's a sign of accumulation. Okay, like this, we go in a tight consolidation, then expansion, then we consolidate, then expansion. That is what has happened over here, where we've had price stay in a tight consolidation for some period of time. So I'm expecting some kind of expansion to move away from here. That would mean if we were to start getting explosive up candles, it's gonna be like mini gold, where price expanded aggressively. Price expanded aggressively from a consolidation, right? So I'm expecting some kind of big candles to move away from where we are, and that will start with once we break this high. Once we break that high, then I would like to see some big expansion. So probably we might get that in the month of November. Who knows? Let's see, because it looks like price wants to come here as the main target, but it can't go beyond that, and we will see. Okay, so stick with the upside. Don't change your bias until I say so. Okay, not that I know everything, but there's something that I'm seeing and I'm trusting that. And since you're probably be looking at what I'm doing. Do not change yours. Okay, when I say I'm changing, then you change yours. Okay. Sometimes you need to see the big picture, and if the big picture is clear, you don't change the big picture. And from the big picture perspective, the dollar index is likely gonna go up. So we are not changing our bias until I see the higher time frame picture changing. Okay, so we are looking for higher prices. Maybe this New York session, I'm not quite sure. Let me double check. The government, US government, is still shut down. They do have rate announcement today, which I don't know if that will still be the case. Reason being, government shutdown means news events or the information that needs to be released by the government is being held or is being withheld from the public. So I don't know whether it's going to affect price to move or not, but we do have rate announcement today at 6 p.m. UK time. Hence, let's see if that will be the case, if they will release. But even if they release, I'm still expecting them to push price higher. So today at 6 p.m. we have the rate announcement, and at 6:30 we have the FOMC statement press conference. Okay, so pay attention to that just in case they release it. If they don't, no cause for alarm. If they do, at least you're aware, and you've positioned yourself with what the market wants to do. Okay, so with that said, let's move on to euro. So euro, I'm looking for a move to the downside to attack this equal low. This afternoon, I think the trade has already been triggered. I was looking for a sell here, right here. So I'm currently looking for a sell to go down. That would be first objective, which is the previous week low, then the equal low. So first we are looking for the previous week low, then the equal low. Right, so kind of I'm short already. I'm looking for the continuation to the downside. I think yesterday I mentioned that I'll be looking for a sell today, right? And here we are. I got into that sell. Now, why did I sell short? If you look closely, we took out this high here, this high, right? That is Tuesday's high right here. And then we broke this down candle, leaving the fair value gap during the kill zone. Okay, so with that, market is likely gonna draw towards liquidity and imbalances on the downside. Okay, that is why I'm short. Now moving on to British pound, I think British pound is doing amazing. The drawn liquidity is 1.31400. That is where I think we said price supposed to be going, and so far so good. So if you did sell British pound, fingers crossed, you are swimming in some nice profit. Now, this is not a place to be taking trades. I don't recommend it. Focus on euro because the British pound has they've taken it down. We are below the previous week low, and we are below a swing low, so selling is forbidden. Focus on euro. Okay, it can continue going down, but that is not you to worry yourself about. If you still have some trades from all the move to the downside, great, because I do. I still have, I think, a trade from here. I still have one trade from up there. Let me double check. Okay, not there. I think that one has been closed. I have one from here. Where is it? Yeah, one from here and then one from here. The one that I took up there has been closed, probably below this low here. So I have one from here and then one from there, which I'm currently holding on to. I think I'm gonna close this one, the one that I took here. I'm gonna close that one because it did reach for a fair value gap with an auto block, and it's currently kind of pulling back. So I'm gonna close this one, the one that I took yesterday, and then hold on to this one here. Okay, so I've closed that one, and I'm going to be just with this trade here, and then I've taken a new position with euro. If it continues going down, definitely I will still be making something with that one there, and then maybe, who knows, it might give a trading opportunity again. And another area to really consider, another potential trade, let me remove this once, that's if we come up here, and I don't think that might be the case, but in case it does, that'll be a very decent area to go short again, right up there. So if we can get up there, I'm gonna sell short again and then look for continuation to the downside. Okay, so that is that for if you wanna take another trade on the euro. I'm sorry, on the British pound. Euro pound, I think yesterday we had a huge move away, and since then price never looked back. And today I did a huge time frame analysis, and I realized that we can come all the way up here, which is 92.79. That is a level price can, the keyword here is can, reach for. So I'm not surprised to see the big move that is taking place, and it looks like it's now in a phase of expansion. That means any form of a down candle that price closes above, it's a buy. So from here, down close, we close up, we run buying, down close, 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 we run buying. So every down close candle, and then we go above it, then it offers an opportunity to buy. Okay, so if it does offer another down candle, because we have about 3 hours and 38 minutes to go, once that closes, if the next candle closes above it, then that also offer another buying opportunity, or buying and then leaving your stop loss below the down candle. That is also possible. Only problem with this is your stop loss becomes bigger. Okay, your stop loss becomes bigger. Apart from that, it is valid for your trade to have such. Okay, all right, so let's continue. Looking at looking at gold. Now gold has, yesterday, based on what I said, we took out this low. We are still inside that weekly fair value gap. Let's draw that one. We are still inside that weekly fair value gap. Now from the daily perspective, right, we have few things going on in here that requires more attention. It requires more attention. It requires more patience. One, we do have the down candle almost getting closed above here, right? It hasn't closed yet, but in the morning when I was watching price, it looks like it was going to close. 2, we have a fair value gap here, so that in of itself can also be a problem. And then 3, we have this volume imbalance here, that in of itself is a problem. And then 4, finally, we have the up candle here. So there's a lot of resistance that gold can face if it wants to go up from where we are now. And I know most traders out there would like to buy gold, but from what I'm seeing, buys, it's very, very dangerous to look for buys right now, depending on the kind of trader you are. If you're looking for long term, then that's no problem. If you have a big pot, if your account is big, then no problem, right? But if your account is small and you're buying for long term, then that will be a problem, because you don't know if we are going to go up from here or not. Okay, so personally, I would like to see if today can close above yesterday's high. That'll be the first thing that I'll use to look for potential buy on gold, which as it stands, I'll probably look for sells than buy. And to be honest, it's 50-50 for me right now. The reason being, all the reference points that I've mentioned, the fair value gap, the volume imbalance, the up candle, all these things can cause price to struggle to go up. So buying is going to be more of a stress. The least that you want to do before you buy, or the least you want to see before you buy, is price closing above that fair value gap. If we can close above that fair value gap, then I'm, let's say, roughly 80-20 bullish. Okay, if we can close above the fair value gap, then I'll be 80-20 bullish. 80 bullish, 20 okay, but right now I think it's probably 30 bullish, 70 bearish. Okay, now that 70 bearish does not say you need to go in and start selling. No, it means that there is a probability, okay, that it can continue going down, a high probability that it can go down. But at the same time, there's also a probability, because we are coming off from a weekly fair value gap, it can also reject and go up. So that is where we've met at a crossroad where you need to be patient. Okay, that's all it boils down to. Be patient. Let's wait and see. At least wait for today's candle. Let's see how it's going to close. And then from there, we will have an idea of what price is going to do going forward. Okay, so gold, I'm kind of watching. Okay, I'm kind of watching. So that will lead us to crude oil, which yesterday I made mention that I'm not really convinced that we are going down. The move to the downside is not even as clean as it's supposed to be. There's too much or too many candles over here. So I still think there's a probability they will come back up here again, which is the 62.94 level. I'm convinced that it can potentially come back up there again, especially today with the FOMC and the rate announcement. Hence, again, crude oil, not interested. I'm gonna sit on my hands and wait. Then that will lead us to the ES, which is the S&P 500. With this, I am convinced that we are going to continue going up. All the statistics shows the price action is showing. So yesterday I told you want to look for a buy to go to 69.80, and that is what I did, and I hope you did that too. Because the next potential target is that 6980.50. Okay, so look for your longs, get in and let's go. Yesterday was a very nice entry. I will not get into any entry again, but I think it can offer another entry before it gets to the 6980.25 level. Okay, so instead of trading gold, probably trade ES, because that will be the best. Okay, let's move on to Bitcoin. Okay, so Bitcoin and the currency, the cryptocurrencies, still reacting up from that fair value gap. Yesterday I was convinced we were going to go up because we are reacting up from the fair value gap, but that left short and then they came back. But we are still within that daily fair value gap, so nothing has really changed for me. The upside still prevails. I'm still looking for a continuation to the upside. Okay, I'm still looking for a continuation to the upside. So same thing with you. For now, we are looking for continuation to the upside. Okay, so it actually gave a buy opportunity here. I think we are going to continue going up. If we close through the gap, I think I've already made mention of that. If we close through the gap, then price will definitely go down. But until then, we are sticking to the upside. Meaning Ethereum, we are still sticking to the upside because that fair value gap is still open. We are looking for higher prices. Solana, same thing. I think Solana went deeper than that, but we can see it's already rejecting, almost breaking that up candle. All is going to depend on Bitcoin. Okay, so pay attention to what Bitcoin is doing, and that would guide you with all the other cryptocurrencies. As you can see, Solana has rejected and going back up again. But I made mention that I'm interested in Ripple. Buying Ripple would be the best idea. Buying Hype would be the best idea, and you can see why. Not that they will not go up, but some of them do offer better price action than the others, so you focus on the ones that offers better price action, and that was the XRP and Ripple. And I did add Chachki to it. Now we are kind of in a discount level. This area will shoot price back up again. If we don't, then they'll break this down candle and go down. But I think with that huge move that happened, they will respect this down candle and then resume going up again. So again, buying opportunity on Chachki and Hype and Ripple. The rest, just monitor them if you want to get a trade. Bitcoin does have an opportunity here, okay, but it can be met with a resistance up there, so we will need a strong push away from here. AI16Z, same thing, we are still respecting that fair value gap, which till now that's what stands in the way of the move to the downside. So eyes on Bitcoin. Let's see if they can sustain the gap. This one will be sustained and likely moved up as well. Okay, so mostly Chachki, Hype, XRP, look for your buys. The rest, sit patiently and wait. Let them give a strong impulse away from where they are now, and then you can look for entry. There is going to be plenty of room to the upside if we get the move. So don't be in a hurry. Don't be in a like some form of a stress with looking for entry. Everything will be fine. Just be patient. If you want to trade XRP, Hype, and chart key, you can look for trade ideas on them long, because they are trading at the right level for a potential long. The rest, you need to be patient with them if you want to take a trade. Okay, so as usual, let's go back, refer back to dollar index a little bit. We've traded through the gap. Now that gap should act as a support level to send price up. Euro, this gap should support price to send it down. British pound, if we come up here, we will look for a sell. Euro pound, if we form a down candle, we can look for a buy to continue going up. And ES would be a good one to also buy. All right, so that is all I have for you for today. Thank you for tuning in. I will see you same time tomorrow for another live session. Until then, have a blessed day, and I'll see you soon.